Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh and good morning. My name is Muhammad Izzat Iman bin Muhammad Tirmizi. My matric number is AE230041. So as we look at our introduction slide, our infrastructure project are built on three fundamental pillars. So first, large scale facilities. These power plant are engineered to run continuously, supplying uninterrupted electrical power to regional grids. So second, we move to the second one, engineering at scale. So where every critical component is designed to withstand extreme operating condition and perform safely for decades. And finally, our economic contribution. Beyond physical skills, this facility stabilize local energy costs and create long-term job. So let now transition to the exact roadmap be used to execute this complex build safely and efficiently.
For the summary issues, the national imperative urgent need to transition existing building infrastructures toward a low carbon economy to meet the sustainability goals of the 12th Malaysia Plan, 12 MP. For the second is the baseline problem. We establish the facilities rely on outdated, inefficient electrical and energy management systems, leading to high carbon footprints, energy wastage and regulatory non-compliance. For the third is engineering diagnosis. We task a student consultant to identify hidden operational insufficiencies, especially focusing on unoptimized HVAC systems, legacy lighting and lack of renewable energy integration. For the fourth is simulated constraints where we are operating without external industries. Site visit must independently gather, interpret and justify data using localized observations, equipment specifications and sound engineering assumptions. For the last is the core engineering challenge, bridge the gap between aggressive national green targets and practical limitations by designing solutions that balance technical compliance with financial feasibility (ROI), capital constraints and daily operational requirements. Our company background, for first is the company overview. Thunder Energy is an electrical and renewable energy firm specializing in smart, reliable and sustainable power solution across diverse industries. The core service of our company, we offer a comprehensive range of solutions including solar system design, electrical system planning, power system studies, energy efficiency optimization and safety inspections. For the founding and history, our company established in September 2015 in Johor, Malaysia by an experienced electrical professional from Pasir Gudang, driven to support national development and modern energy demands. For our growth and market presence, we expand from a small local business to a trusted partner serving over 400 clients including professional engineers, contractors and property developers. For our motto, we driven by the ethos clean energy stronger together, which is reflecting to a corporate mission to deliver environmentally friendly energy solutions that create long-term value for clients and the planet. For the detail of our company, our identity is operating under the corporate motto, which is clean energy stronger together. For our executive leadership, the group leader is me, Muhammad Irsyaduddin Hamka. Our group secretary is Muhammad Sharifuddin Muhammad Yassin, and our engineering consultant team, Muhammad Izzat Iman bin Muhammad Tirmizi, Muhammad Zafri Haris bin Muhammad Rostam, and Nik Imal Hakimi bin Abdullah. For our company objective, first is we promote national sustainability goals, which is support Malaysia's transition toward a low carbon economy by implementing renewable energy adoption, implementing green building practices and energy efficiency. Second objective is we identify energy inefficiencies, which is evaluate the selected buildings' current electrical and energy systems to detect operational deficiencies and energy wastage. The third is we propose data-driven solutions where we develop realistic, cost-effective and sustainable engineering recommendations to improve the building's overall energy performance. The last is the bridge theory and practice, where we apply academic engineering knowledge to a practical simulated consultancy environmental, enhancing data analysis, independent problem solving and decision making skills. Of investigation, the first is building selection and baseline assessment, where we selecting a suitable target building for the study. For example, an academic building, commercial facility or residential complex. The second is we independent data collection and analysis, where we gathering necessary technical data without relying on industry visits or external engagement. The last is evaluation and system optimization, where analyzing the collected data against established energy, efficient design principles, and sustainable engineering practice.
So moving on to our project methodology. So we follow a data-driven workflow. So we start by gathering intelligence through literature review, on-site investigation, and structured data collection. Next is our core engineering loop. We analyze the data, design the electrical system, and run virtual simulation. If the simulation flags an error, we immediately look back to redesign the calculate again, and this iterative stress testing eliminates vulnerabilities long before construction. Once successful, we integrate green technologies, perform a cost analysis, and package our delivered for final project submission. This workflow ensures our handoff is safe, highly optimized, and ready for deployment.
My name is Nick Malakimi bin Abdul, Mati number CP240227. Now I will present about the house floor and plan. Okay, this is electrical layout plan outline a comprehensive wiring design for a 2,263 square foot double-story residential unit, strategically managed via a main meter board and two distribution board. The system support general utility and comfort with a 49 downlight, 6 ceiling fan with regulator and 5 air conditioning points, and 2 media communication line for unified or Astro. Power distribution is divided into 28 standard switch socket mounted at 1.5 feet FFL for general use and 8 high level socket at 5 feet FFL for FVN. Alongside waterproof socket for a wet area. Key specialized installation include a dedicated 2.5mm square cable for a kitchen or fan and 2 water heater point with a dedicated switch, and as a fan for bedroom 2 and compact 2 foot fluorescent tube for understairs storeroom, dual decorative interest wall light and a wardrobe specific wall fan in a master bedroom.
Next, proceed to single line diagram. This slide compare the original and improved single line diagram. For new design, include LED lighting, inverter air conditioner, and a 2 kilowatt grid connected solar PV system. These upgrade reduce energy consumption, lower electricity costs, and improve the overall efficiency of the residential electrical system.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Syafuddin bin Hussein. My plate number AE230047. Today, I continue this presentation with my part, which is the load analysis. As you can see here on the slides, you can see the pre-existing electrical load assessment and analysis. The first table on above right side, we can see the electrical load summary based on entire house symbols. The second table on the left side is the total power usage in original design of the building in Amman. The last one on the bottom is the specification electrical calculation. So we can see that there is the total connected load, total maximum demand, coincident factor, size of MCB, maximum current, and the size of RCD. So I start with the maximum demand. Formula for the maximum demand is maximum demands equals to total maximum demands times with coincident factor. Of course, for the residential is 0.9. So you can see the maximum current. Maximum current equals to maximum demands divided with 230 volt times 0.85 power factor for the residential. That 230 volt is the standard nominal single phase voltage in Malaysia, and 0.85 is the power factor for the residential. And for the size of the MCB, we got the overcurrent, which is equals to 1.25 times with maximum current. It is following by the Suruhanjaya Tenaga required for a safety buffer that usually 125% or 1.25 for the continuous or overcurrent protection. Size of RCD we got is 63 ampere, 30 milliampere for the power circuit, and 100 milliampere for lighting circuit. Alright, so for the further explanation, I divide it into 5 parts, which is the first part is the total monthly consumption for the pre-existing electrical load assessment and analysis, 1,645.28 kilowatt hour, driven primarily by the high demand air conditioner and 13A SSO outlets. So for the second part is household profile. It's aligned with typical Malaysian energy trends where space, cooling, and general appliance dominate the load. The third part is the billing framework calculated using the DMB Tarif A progressive block rate structure. Usually, this rate increase as usage rises. And for the fourth part is financial baseline. The total bill equals to 821.15 ringgit as calculated in sen and converted into the ringgit using a 0.01 multiplier. And for the last part, a strategic purpose, establish the concrete financial baseline required to justify and evaluate a future energy saving solution. Okay, we moving on for the next slide is post-installation electrical load assessment and analysis. This is same as before as the pre-installation, but in this post-installation, we add solar system as our renewable energy and some adjustment as the high efficiency of LED lights and inverter air conditioner and low wattage of water heaters. So on the first table, on the above right side, we can see the new design of electrical load summary based on entire house symbols. This is, we did some adjustment. We add the two solar panel around 2000 watt, so it can reduce on the total connected load and the max demand. As you can see there is negative 200 watt. We can see the reduce of the wattage of the total connected load and maximum demand. So the second table on the left is new total power usage in original design of building in Amman. So the last one is the new specification electrical calculation. So this is all based on the energy efficiency adjustment. So you can see same as before, maximum demand formula equals to total maximum demand times the coefficient factor. We got the maximum current, we got the size of MCB, we got the overcurrent and size of RCD. Alright, for the further explanation for the post-installation electrical load assessment and analysis, I already divided it into 4 parts, which is the first part is energy reduction. Monthly consumption dropped from 1,645.28 kilowatt hour to 1,103 kilowatt hour via high efficiency LED lighting and inverter type air conditioner. For the second part is the renewable energy alternative. Using the solar PV generation, integrated a 2 kilowatt PV system directly offset with daytime grid reliance with clean energy. The third part is the financial savings. Monthly TNB tariff A bill reduced from RM 821 ringgit down to 511 ringgit, yielding RM 309 in monthly saving. It is costly around RM 3,715 per year. And for the last part is the dual impact. It is achieve a rapidly capital recovery while successfully advancing environmental sustainability by reducing building fossil fuel dependence. Alright, we will be moving on to the next part, which is the financial feasibility and ROI analysis. So for the first part is capital expenditure. 20,000 ringgit upfront investment covering a 2 kilowatt solar PV array, high efficiency LED lighting, and inverter type air conditioners. For the second part is operational savings, which is the OPEX reduction, yields around the 309.64 ringgit in monthly utility savings, accumulating to an annual saving of 3,715 ringgit. For the third part is key financial performance metrics. There is simple annual return of investment 18.58% and a simple payback period around 5.4 years, approximately around 5 years and 4 months. The next part is long-term asset viability. Equipment lifespan extend between 25 to 30 years, guarantee decades of net positive returns long after the capital recovery. The last part is strategic conclusion. Quantitative data validate that the project successfully breached environmental sustainability with highly attractive investment recovery timelines. Alright, the next one is environmental impact and carbon mitigation. The first part is net energy saving. Achieve an absolute grade energy reduction of 542.28 kilowatt hour per month. It is the dropping from 1,645.28 kilowatt hour down to 1,103 kilowatt hour. The second part is regulatory compliance. It's evaluated under the Scope 2 GHG protocol using the official Suruhanjaya Tenaga grid emission factor, which is the 0.740 kilogram CO2 emission per kilowatt hour. And for the next part is the carbon mitigation footprint. Monthly offset prevent 401.29 kilogram of CO2 from entering the atmosphere. The annual offset culminates in a net of reduction 4,815.48 kilogram, which is around 4.82 tons of CO2 per year. And for the last part is sustainability conclusion. It validates that the localized demand side management and renewable energy integration directly advance national grid decarbonization objective. Thank you.
For the analysis and discussion, the first is electrical parameter optimization, where we slash maximum demand from 9,112.14 watt to 6,129.18 watt. The lowered operating per phase current from 46 to 31, and the system integrity maintain the 63 ampere TPMCV and standard RCD thresholds, which is 30 mA over dengan 100 mA for future serviceability, while significantly reducing internal conductor ohmic losses and thermal stress. For the second is demand side management and grid impact, where we reduce net monthly energy consumption. We integrated LED lighting inverter HVAC units and 2 kilowatt grid type solar PV system to feed clean energy directly into the distribution board. The third is financial and tariff analysis of the TNB. We compress the exposure to the premium tariff block, and then we slash the monthly utility bill. And the last is ROI metrics, which is against 20,000 CAPEX. The project yields on 18% simple annual ROI with a payback period of 2.4 years. The last is environmental sustainability. We achieve an absolute energy savings of 542 kilowatt per hour per month and we using the Peninsula Malaysia grid emission factor, and we result in an annual carbon footprint reduction of 4,000 to 4.82 annually, and actively supporting the national grid carbonizations.
To conclude, this project successfully achieved its objective of improving the energy efficiency of a residential building. Several sustainable solutions were implemented, con- including replacing conventional lighting with LED light, upgrading to inverter-type air conditioner, and installing a 2 kilowatt photovoltaic solar system. As a result, the monthly energy consumption was reduced from 1,645.28 kilowatt-hour to 1,103 kilowatt-hour. The monthly electricity bill also decreased from 821.15 to 511, and resulting in a monthly saving of 309 ringgit. Overall, this project demonstrates that integrating energy efficiency with renewable energy technology can significantly reduce energy costs while supporting environment sustainability and Malaysia low carbon development goals. That's all. Thank you.